we're going to use AI today to collect the most searched questions on the internet associated with the royal family. How does the royal family make their money?
Well, until 2012, it was through a thing called the Civil List, um, and then there were also three grants in aid, which covered royal travel, communications and information, and the maintenance of the palaces. Since 2012, that's been the sovereign grant, which is funded out of the surplus on the Crown estates. So that pays for the workings of the royal family. Then the sovereign personally has the revenue, the profit from the Duchy of Lancaster. The Prince of Wales has the profit from the Duchy of Cornwall, both of which, by the way, are held in trust. The king doesn't, or the king at the moment could not sell off, for instance, the assets of the Duchy of Lancaster. He is the beneficiary of that trust, but the trust itself is inalienable. Similarly, the Duchy of Cornwall, Prince William couldn't turn up tomorrow and say, right, I'm selling off everything that this has, and I'm taking the cash and going to live in Barbados. He has not that legal right. These are held in trust to provide for the members of the royal family. And since 1992, they've voluntarily paid income tax on those incomes and capital gains tax on anything sold. And for instance, most of the property, art, for instance, jewels, musical instruments, furniture, couldn't be sold by the monarch, by the king. It's there and it's held in trust, and that's you get to use it. The things that he does own personally are Sandringham in Norfolk, which was bought by Edward the Seventh when he was Prince of Wales, I think, and therefore his personal property, and is handed down as personal property from sovereign to sovereign, from monarch to monarch. And Balmoral, which was bought by Queen Victoria, and the king also owns the Castle of May, which was left to him by her late Majesty the Queen Mother, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Mother. So there are personal properties that are owned by members of the royal family, which, for instance, they can buy and sell as they like, just as the Duke of York has done with his skiing chalet. But the majority of things that provide the income for them are held by the state, essentially,
I don't know if the Duke of
and
York ever
administered
paid
as
for
such.
that. I don't know if the Duke of York ever fully paid for that ski chalet, but
Well, indeed, yeah, quite. He did seem to do very well out of that.
that's true. What is this isn't from our AI questions, but there is, especially in America, this idea that the royal family survives on taxpayer money. What is your response to that?
Well, it doesn't. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
The Crown estates, the revenue from the Crown estates go to the nation, go directly into the treasury, and then about 15% of that revenue is used to fund the activities of the royal family and pay for the maintenance of palaces and so on. But these are, as I said, the Crown estates are held in trust by the nation and are no longer the personal property of the monarch. Since George III, that has been the case. George III essentially came to a deal with the government of the day and said, look, here, I will hand over all of this to the nation if you give me some of it back in the civil list to pay for myself and my family and our life and our work. So it's not that, for instance, when you pay your income tax or when you pay your national insurance, that money is some of it, some tiny percentage of it is then finding its way into King Charles's bank account. It's simply not true. And let's not forget that the royal family has considerable personal wealth and investments accrued over generations, just like many families have, landed or otherwise. And they use that to buy their suits and go shopping in Sainsbury's or whatever they want to do, go on holiday. So I don't think there's any truth in that accusation. And it's a rather weak argument used by Republicans who are seeking to attack the basis of monarchy and doing so because they think that people are so petty as to think that the royal family is robbing them in some way.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great response.